Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a quick process video for you today. I'm going to be working through days 3 and 4 of Let Heaven and Nature Sing from Bythewell4God. I'm starting out with this dark pattern paper that from the kit that kind of looks like a starry sky, and I'm going to create a little night winter scene. So at first I thought I was going to use this little house. I really love these little houses and storefronts. And then in the end, I ended up choosing this little set of these 3 little critter friends. And what I'm going to do is just create kind of an icy texture around them using some snowfall grit paste from Tim Holtz. So I have a little tub of it here. I am going to glue down my ephemera piece. I ended up adding just a little bit of distressing to kind of knock back some of that white just a little bit. And I'm gluing these guys down kind of where I want them. And then I'm taking my palette knife and this grit paste, and I'm going to apply a very liberal, generous amount of this snowfall grit paste all the way around. And I, at the time, really wasn't thinking about the fact that this is actually translucent paste when it dries, which is going to be fine, but I was expecting that it was going to be white, but I just wasn't paying really close attention. So it is what it is. It ended up turning out okay, but again, this is basically all I'm going to do to this card. I'm trying to keep my cards very, very simple this month, and so, but it ended up taking forever to dry because I had applied it really, really thick, but I just really wanted that kind of icy feel to it. And so I have this really, really thick on there. I've set that aside and let it to dry for hours and hours. And then I'm going to work on day 4 here as well. So I have this music paper here that I want to use as the backdrop for this Tim Holtz frame. That's one of his pieces that he released this year in his Christmas collection. And I have this cute little critter from By the Well and a little a little gift package that I'm just going to create a little kind of scene with the 2 of those things in this back side of this frame. So I'm holding the frame in place, and where their little pieces are kind of tucking behind, I'm just adding a little bit of glue just to keep everything all in one piece, because there was a certain part of this music paper that I wanted to kind of show in the background where the notes were just really interesting. And so I wanted to really just be able to put this down exactly where I wanted it. So I glued those little pieces together first, and then I will glue everything down at one time. That way I can make sure that I get everything right where I want it around that the run in the music. So because we're talking about like Christmas carols and all that kind of stuff, I will be probably using a lot of Christmas music and just music in general. And so I just thought this was a fun way to add some music to the background of this. And then I am going to just trim this off. I'm being careful to hold those threads. These frames have like a stitching around, and they left the threads on them, which I love. It just adds that extra texture. You can kind of see the threads hanging out there. And so I'm trying to make sure that I didn't cut those off. And then I want to add something to the bottom of my little envelope there to sort of anchor it. So I pulled out these washi stickers that they released this month, which is like a little pack of mini stickers of washi. And I love it, but I really wanted to be able to keep the vibrant colors of it. So I'm just applying it to this is actually some of the By the Well packaging, just so that I can keep that white, just to make sure that all of the colors are true, because my red envelopes would kind of overpower this beautiful washi if I just tried to apply it, and I really wanted it to stay nice and bright. So I am going to apply it down here with some glue just at the very bottom of that. And then I have also those stickers from the kit that released. I'm going to add one of those as well. I'm just kind of lining this up along the bottom. These actually ended up being like the perfect size for my little envelopes, which are, they finished size is about 4 1/4. I did have to trim just a teeny tiny bit off of the one edge here. And then I am going to glue down my little frame there kind of a little bit over to the left, and I want to put this little sticker up here on the upper right hand corner, and that is really going to be kind of it for the front of this this particular envelope. I just really thought that this little guy was just so cute, and I really loved these frames from Tim Holtz. So I am going to glue this down, and then the only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little border on here, because most of the other pages that I'm going to do are going to cover basically the front of the envelope. And since I did not really do that because that frame was really kind of small, I just want to kind of incorporate everything together. So I'm just doing a really squiggly, messy line here with my Unisigno in gold. This is the same version of like the white, my favorite white pen, but obviously in a gold version. I'm just going to go around really sketchy lines just around to create a little bit of a border and just add a little bit of interest to this particular card and just kind of give it something to kind of anchor everything together. So, and then of course on the back, I am using ephemera pieces as my closures. So I have a little Not So Ugly sweater back here, and just adding the adhesive, the glue down to like the bottom section of that, and then that will hold my little envelope closed. All my notes and scriptures and everything are already inside the envelope. So this is finally that day 3 card that is finally dry, and so I'm going to apply a generous amount of glue here, because the grit paste it didn't do it too much, but it did warp the paper a little bit. It's not perfectly flat anymore, just from all the moisture of the grit paste. So I'm adding quite a bit of glue, and I ended up just kind of holding it in place for a few minutes just to make sure it was really going to be stuck down well. But that is really everything for that particular card. I will add a Not So Ugly sweater, I think, to the back of this one as well, just to create that closure on this card as well. I know these are kind of back and forth out of order, but that's just how it worked for this particular day. You can kind of see how the envelopes just tuck behind the ephemera pieces and keep them closed and keep all my notes and everything tucked away inside. So super simple. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.